Alrighty, yo, what is up, Knights? Just Rick here, back with some more DFO PvE, this time on my Berserker. Now, it's the first time well, not the first time you guys have seen this character, but the first time you guys have seen him as a Berserker, because I was playing a little bit before, but he was still a little, he was an Azura, because I was doing this thing where I was using him as an Azura to power level a little bit and then job change him. My thing expired, the advancement scroll, and I know I could probably try to rig it and try to keep it even though it's expired, but you don't want to risk it on stuff like that, because I don't know when's the next time I'm going to get one of these. I'm actually getting comboed here. Let's go ahead and use our Raging Fury. And you know what? Taking damage on a Berserker, totally fine. You know what? You're going to be hurting yourself anyway with the blood or the thirst buff, and it's going to be, you know, you want to be at low HP, and that's kind of the case with this class. We're going to get our bloodlust going a little bit here, and one thing, guys, I mean, I have a little bit of experience already with the Berserker. That's why I didn't mind playing him as an Azura. It's like, just whatever. I've already experienced him at the lower levels, but that was back in old DFO. So by the time I switched over to this guy now, he's got a lot more in his kit than I remember him having. You know, before he didn't have that thirst skill right there. So your bleeding came from your skills only. Well, now you can use that to activate bleed. Not only can you do that, but it's a buff. Kind of like derange. It can give you damage, it can increase your damage on your blood skills, all kinds of shit. So something that was not in his kit before that I remember, you know, obviously the frenzy at level 20 now instead of like, I think it was 35 or 40 that skill used to be. You didn't get your, imagine playing Berserker this whole time and you don't get frenzy, which gives you the 2 swords for that long. It was insane. That's how it was back then, and you had to struggle to try to get your frenzy buff, but you know, frenzy high level. You can also do that thing where you can turn the passive on to make it only do the first 2 attacks. I personally don't like it. I like all 4 attacks, just because the last 2 hits actually do a lot of damage. So, but my build, guys, I'm a little bit on the fence on it. One of the oldest videos on my channel actually is back in old DFO. I made a build, because back then, you know, builds used to matter, right? You need to make sure you make the right build, and I made like a Gore Cross and Bloodlust build, and I thought that worked out pretty well. It doesn't really work out that well anymore, just because right now Bloodlust just doesn't do it. It doesn't cut it. It's too slow of a skill, and I found Mountainous Wheel was a much more, or is that what it's called, Mountainous Wheel? I keep calling it, yeah, okay. Yeah, Mountainous Wheel is just a better pick in the end, just because it comes out faster, and then it procs the bleed, which is the main reason why you want to use it. So that's the main reason why I use pretty much anything on the Berserkers. I want to get that bleed, and once they're bleeding, I want to get that Bloodlust grab off. So if the Mountainous Wheel doesn't kill them off already, well, shit, then, you know, you use the Bloodlust, and they almost certainly will die. So, and not to mention you get a big damage boost as well. I still have the Gore Cross, but I'm still, you know, I don't know if I'm probably taking off when I get better skills. And right there, you see perfect setup for the Raging Fury as well, and all kinds of stuff. So, could have turned on my Awakening. You know what? We're going to save the Awakening and just healed up, and, you know, that actually reduced my damage. Oh my gosh, my canceling is terrible on that. Okay. Actually don't want to launch this guy because he can counter you in there and fuck you up. But D-range, man, D-range is stronger than even I remember. And I remember it used to be really strong. Now it's crazy, it feels like. D-range is also a buff that can be cast if you had a little bit of cooldown reduction based on like some epics or something, maybe even like 10%. I bet you can get that 100% up because it has only a little bit of downtime. I want to say like 10 seconds downtime right now, and then you get D-range right back up. And there is a gamble, you know, you take a lot more damage, but you also do a lot more damage and have a lot more attack speed. So as you guys can see, I'm level 71, and I didn't bother with doing any of the quests so far, so this is kind of just for the fuck of it, honestly, because there's like nothing I really want to do. I don't even think I have the quest for this. Let me grab those real quick. So yeah, I mean, Berserker is easy. I want to say he is not easy starting out. When I started this class out, it really was a chore, and I was dying. I was happy that I got through kind of the boring parts with him. With my Azura, you know, I just job changed him, and I was just like, you know what, I was happy I got my skills, because he's one of those classes that can't really do things mindlessly yet. I mean, he is going to be one of the best classes in solo, I'll tell you that right now. I think it's pretty unanimous that this guy is like the king of solo. He can pretty much do anything, because he does so much fixed damage, and that's kind of his specialty. Let's go ahead and I keep forgetting to turn this on. Let's use our Outrage Break. Ooh, is it going to kill? So much damage, man. Of course it's going to kill. That wasn't even with the range up. Okay. Blood Sword is something I'm not using a lot, but it also, again, tons of damage, you know, so fixed damage as well, so it doesn't even matter that I have a Hercules right now, which is my, I'm going to consider this my in-game weapon. I am using a bludgeon. You guys will let me know why I shouldn't do that, but I had this bludgeon. It's pretty cheap, and Berserker, you know what, fixed damage, you just want like base stats. That's all you care about, so you just refine your weapon and you're going to be solid. Let's get this other grab off right here. This, I forget what it's called, Blood Ruin instead of Blood Lust. Okay, and that was overkill, but doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and use our Awakening now, baby. As far as I know, it actually gives you stats as well. Ooh, Con-Con, okay. It gives you stats as well, so it gives you like 10% attack speed, so you can attack a little bit faster. Not a big deal if you have derange up, you probably won't even notice just because of how much, oh shit, I really wish I didn't use that Blood Ruin thing there. Oh, it doesn't matter, look at how close, jeez. Look, I wanted to use my Awakening, but Con-Con's fucking dead. You had no chance in hell, Con-Con, because Berserker, man, Berserker is doing some work here. But anyway, guys, yeah, honestly, I don't think it's possible to really mess up the build with the Berserker. You pick up any of your couple skills, I mean, all of them are going to do a lot of damage. Most of all of them are fixed damage. I even think the Gore Cross, actually, I'm not really sure on that one, but, you know, you can pick up any of your skills down the line, and if you use them, maybe the Bloody Twister, whatever, it's just going to do tons of damage. So I like my grab skills, and, you know, spamming the Mountainous Wheel. You can do it any other way you want, though. I think Gore Cross is still a viable option if you want to max that instead of Mountainous Wheel or whatever. I just find it, you know, you want to pick one bread and butter skill. So my two bread and butter skills are going to be the Mountainous Wheel and the Bloodlust. I always use those like back to back, and they kind of synergize well, and they can dispatch groups of guys. So that's just my thought about it. You don't have to go that way. Just use Raging Fury or whatever the hell you want. So, you know, back in the day, I used to always think that the Berserker was like a king of auto attack, right? Because he has the blood sword and he can use two-hand swords on basically any weapons. I always loved the idea of frenzy, and I always thought that was his main gimmick. So, you know, attack speed was something I always wanted. You know, I wanted katanas. I wanted to just attack as fast as I could, keep this combo going and all that. But the more I start playing them at the higher levels, because, you know, back then I would think I was only like level 50. You know, I wasn't even out of Scoria Core and stuff out of there. You know, I didn't really experience how he was supposed to be played, but as you keep going along, you don't use Frenzy as much. You use it more as, you know, the passive and all the buffs it gives to bleeding enemies and stuff like that. But it's not really the auto attacks that you do very often. What you do for damage most of the time is the skills, for the most part. You know, Bloodlust, like I've already mentioned multiple times now. You know, the Blood Sword and all that, Raging Fury. So, you know, having the Frenzy is not, you know, it's not primary that you're going to be doing auto attacks all the time. So that's why using a slower weapon is not, you know, that detrimental. I was confused, so I went the wrong way here. It's not that detrimental to use a really slow sword like a bludgeon or a Zombato, because you're going to be using your skills anyway. So, not to mention D-range can really shore up some of the speed issues you might have, as long as the buff is active. So, really what you want is just stats. You want tons of stats on whatever weapon you're using. So, he is one of those cases where, kind of like Vagabond, right? If you are playing if you're planning on gearing this guy out, it's actually really easy, because he can pick up any, like, epic. If you find like an epic random Slayer epic, he can pretty much use any of them if they're not lightsaber, and just kind of decimate with them. It doesn't really matter, because you really just want the stats and effects on them, as far as I can tell. I mean, I might be wrong about that, but that's just definitely how it seems like it's going here. Let's go ahead and get our thirst going. And I'm living lice on the edge a little bit here. Just get our Blood Ruin as well, and sucking up all his HP right there, and just decimated that guy. Go ahead and cast our Awakening here. I think I can also leave the Awakening. Yeah, before you couldn't actually leave this animation here. You had to stand there the whole time and get fucked up. But, okay, I'm still confused, I think. Okay, doesn't matter. Bam! Just decimated, man. It also really helps that I'm level 71. I'm still using level 80 gear, magic rare. So I'm kind of over geared for this region now, because I have the contracts, and that's how useful contracts are, man. I can use some high level weapons and all of that. So hopefully I was able to show off a little bit of preliminary Berserker, guys. Level 70, I say preliminary, but I'm going to be showing some higher level content with the Berserker after I get out of here, the speedboats here, and it's not bad. You know, I was worried that I was like, oh shit, it didn't get very high with my power level using the Transcend or the job transfer ticket. hopefully it's not too hard. And I think I'm gonna put my Soulbender, which I was doing the same thing on the back burner. He's level 58, and I'm gonna say the Berserker is gonna be a lot easier to level than that Soulbender when it comes to just playing the class legit. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little Berserker action, and I will catch you knights later.